It's unacceptable. I don't think you can judge the whole town or the club on that, but it's unacceptable.
Sean, unfortunately, obviously, first question, not about football. Your captain's just been on Sky Sports, spoken very, very well about the banner. I'm sure you've got something and some strong words to say to echo the club's sentiments tonight.
Well, I didn't realise what had gone on at the beginning. It was when I got in the dressing room afterwards, the lads mentioned it. They was on their phones what had gone on. I heard a noise buzzing around, but I didn't know what it was about. So head of press made me aware immediately. The club had sent a statement out, and I can only support that statement and say it's unacceptable. I don't think you can judge the whole town or the club on that, but it's unacceptable. So as a club, we can only, apologise and say, I don't know what we could have done about it. Obviously, I've only just learned about it, but it is unacceptable.
Is there a way moving forward that you can do even more to help educate? And I think that's what people are calling for, more education for what is a very, very small minority, but it is a present minority.
Well, I don't know what the club will think about how they can continue to send the message out. We certainly do as much as we can, and we work hard in the community. I know the powers that be will look at ways that we can at least play our part and support the good work rather than the people who unfortunately have affected things tonight.
And just one on the match itself. I mean, obviously the scoreline was very disappointing, I'm sure, for you. But was it just a matter of match fitness? Did they get a big advantage, do you feel, from having played already? I mean, what was your read into the way the game went?
Well, I think it's helpful to have played as they have. But, I mean, they're top class. We always know that. I mean, some people have suggested they've not been as strong this season, but Liverpool have been amazing. I don't think it's been Man City have not been as strong at times. They had a few injuries, but they've still got a top-class squad of players. And, we're coming out of a lockdown period. We've only managed one sort of real game, if you like, and we had a training game for 30 minutes. So it was always going to be a big ask for our players to be right on top of their game. A few mistakes, got caught out on 2 short corners, which doesn't happen to us when we've got our eye in, so to speak. I mean, really, I don't know what's happening with the game now with penalties like that, but anyway, that's another story. But it's certainly the penalty didn't change the whole event. We'll gain fitness, we'll gain sharpness. Not everyone we play, with all due respect, are as strong as these, particularly their own ground, and particularly, in pockets of play and by hurting you when you give the ball away. And we gave the ball away too much tonight.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks.
Chris Borden, do you want to come in?
Cheers, Daz. Hey, Sean. You said you might struggle to fill the bench on Thursday, and obviously that was what came to pass. What's gone on since Thursday in terms of sort of contracts for the lads and things like that?
Well, we've got everything there tonight that we've got. The only other one who was close is Mace Goodbridge, who's just training. Barnes is injured, Woody's injured, Johan's injured, Robbie Brady's got injured. So they're them. And the contract situation is just, the club decided to offer month contracts very late in the day, and haven't cleared up Jeff Hendrick's contract situation. So then players have had to make a choice, and their choice is to not be involved.
Is there a possibility of Jeff sort of signing anything before tomorrow, this deadline tomorrow?
I don't know. I'm not informed on where it's all at.
Yeah, is it Robbie just a niggle, had he, from training?
Yeah, he got a tight groin just yesterday. We had it checked out and scanned. There is a minor tear in his adductor, I think it is. It's not major. It's not drastically serious, but it's enough to keep him out for tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah. A chance of anyone on Thursday?
I'll wait and see. I mean, I'll need news tomorrow. Certainly not Johan Barnsley or Woody. I think Barnsley's probably the longer term one. We're waiting on Woody and Johan. They're making good progress. They're out on the grass with the physios and the sports scientists, but they're not back with the team yet.
Yeah, there's no sort of special dispensation for the lads who've been out on loan, putting them on the bench.
Not that we know of so far. We have had 4 or 5 out on loan, as you'll know. I mean, I must make it clear, it's difficult, but, young Max has got some minutes on a Premier League football game today, so, for all the challenge we have, it does bring these opportunities for these youngsters. I mean, it's, you'd like to think they could get more experience before they get to this point, but that's the way it goes at the minute. I'd never like that one where you can't fill the bench, even if it's with kids, but we physically can't, because as you know, we can only test so many people. We've tested. I mean, if you look at the youngsters we've got, we've done everything we can to test as many as we can, even to just fulfill the bench and give these youngsters an experience. So yeah, not the perfect timing with contracts, but we carry on regardless.
Yeah, the lads didn't stop running for you, though, did they?
No. I mean, there's no lack of work. I mean, they were disappointed going into the game with some of the things that happened to their mates, their teammates. But they shook that off. I think. I don't think there's a lack of work, lack of sharpness, lack of game savvy and game awareness. Like I said, with 2 short corners, not like us. That comes from playing, of course, regularly. Or it certainly helps. You've got to remember by this stage, you're playing your first game, whoever it's against. We'd have probably normally had 4 to 5 games. So, you are relying on players just almost having that memory of how they play and they perform and all these details. But it does need reinforcing, and it is tough. When you come here, they've had a game already. They look like they've got their eye in, and they certainly delivered it like they got their eye in.
Cheers, Sean.
Thanks.
Simon Stone, do you want to come in?
Yeah. Cheers, Daz. Sean, in terms of the contracts, can you understand the chairman? Because clearly the club's lost a lot of money. Every club has lost a lot of money. And he probably thinks you're safe, and maybe it would be a waste to give these players, even for a month, an extra contract.
Well, we are in incredible financial shape, mind you, so there is a balance to that. We're a club that's been run very well down the years that I've been here financially, and that's allowed us to come through this period without any questions. There's certainly not a question financially from the club, that's for sure, but decisions have to be made. I can only advise, which I have done. And the chairman decided to make different decisions, if you like.
Welcome, Simon. Anybody else coming in?
Can I come in, Daz? Is that okay?
Yes, Alex, you can.
Hi, Sean.
Hiya.
Just obviously on what's gone on tonight, off the pitch and on it, how important is it now to make sure that doesn't sort of derail things for the last 8 games for you and the season doesn't kind of fizzle out a little bit?
Well, we see. I mean, the players have asked me a few questions about why certain things have not been done. I've tried to explain to them the best I could. And we've got to stay focused as a group. It's a group mentality. I thought there was no lack of focus as in the intention of the game. I think tonight they were too strong. We played these before and they've been too strong for us. And you catch them on a night like tonight. As I always say, when you play the top clubs, you need you to play. Hopefully, you're as strong as you can be, and then you need to play very well. And you might need them to have a quiet one, and you might need a decision go your way. Well, we had, probably the group that I've got is as stretched as it's ever been, or certainly over recent years. And then we've got a team that look very sharp to me. And, we're going to catch up quickly. We will have to. But these games, in a strange kind of way, they do you good. They remind you of how serious these teams are in the Premier League and how good they can be. And equally, to come through and get the fitness levels right and the intention of the performance, if you like, to a level that will be appropriate when we don't play teams that are all as good as these. So we'll see where it takes us.
When you said then the players have asked you sort of questions about what's gone on, how difficult has that been for you to manage the situation where you've got players who are uncertain of what's going on past a month and talking amongst themselves and creating that sort of environment, I guess?
Well, I've been here 7.5 years, and it's never an easy ride with finance. We know that. It's always a challenge with contracts here. I can't sign them. I can only advise, which I do. And then it's whether that advice is taken on or whether it's delivered. It's certainly not my first rodeo. We're trying to stretch things here because it is a challenge. And, the club have a very quite a restricting at times, but a stringent look at finances and how we go about it. As you know, I think our net spend per season on average since we've been in the Premier League is about 9 million. So we're not throwing money everywhere. I think it's fair to say we've got a healthy return when you look at the talent and the quality of the players we've got now from their investment level. But at the end of the day, the chairman still makes the decisions. I can only offer advice and guidance on what I think is correct. And then it goes above me to the powers that be. And then decisions have been different.
At this situation, would you say it's more likely than not that those out-of-contract players have played their last game for Burnley?
I really don't know. I'm waiting on news.
You reiterated your position to the chairman in recent days since we last spoke on Thursday, where I think it's fair to say you were probably frustrated at the situation.
Yeah, but like I say, life at Burnley is tough at times financially. We're in very good shape financially, so that's probably the only thing I'm kind of wondering is when we are in such good shape is to make decisions that can make sure that we come into this last 8 games now in really good shape, and the decisions have been later. on in the day with the players that were mentioned, and so that's affected the situation, and they've decided that it's not for them. So we'll see how the dust settles over the next 24 to 48 hours, and then I might find out some more news.
And just lastly for me, J. Rod, is he just taken off as a tactical change, no injury there to worry about?
Yeah, we were trying to be as careful as we could, but you know yourself, we can't just put players all over the place. So, you know, young Max gets a touch of the Premier League, which is great for him as a young player. Eric, we know, can work on the left-hand side. They're really, you know, you're probably not going to start putting defenders on and moving the team all over the place. So we've tried to manage tonight the best we could, and make sure players come through it fit and well. And that's hopefully they've all come through at least intact, ready for the next game.